Welcome, I'm Double and this is an after-action report for the final mission in the Kampfgruppe Peiper campaign. In the last 5 battles we have fought our way west and now have the opportunity to break through and push towards Meuse. It has been a tough campaign. I've pushed hard, my troops are fatigued and have received no reinforcements or supplies. We've secured Stamont and are southeast at Verbemont. The weather continues to be awful with muddy ground that bogs vehicles. Looking at the area of operation, it's expansive, approximately 2.5 kilometers from east to west and just over 1 kilometer from north to south. I start in the east and my objectives are in the west. I'm to secure Verbemont, which is broken into 4 key locations: east, north, centre and the exit. To achieve my mission goals, I have the lead elements of Kampfgruppe Peiper. It's on the screen and arrives in 3 groups over 40 minutes. My issue is that this force has been in combat and has not been resupplied or, more importantly, reinforced for the 5 previous battles. 11th Company Panzer Grenadiers barely total a platoon. 12th Company Fallschirmjäger and 9th Company Pioneers, due in 10 minutes, are not any better. Combined, the 3 infantry companies can just about make a single company. On the plus side, I have 3 platoons of Panthers, around 12 tanks, and the infantry is mechanised, so I have a good count of half-tracks, but HE ammo for the tanks is low. My plan is simple. I'll advance in defilade to this point. I'll then scout left and right to try and identify the best avenue to advance. Because of my shortage of infantry, I want to attack from only one area, preferably a flank. The terrain is rolling hills with large open fields and forest on each flank. Because of the muddy conditions, I'm going to try and keep my heavy armour on the road, but this will severely restrict my ability to manoeuvre, so I may need to be flexible. Without knowing which flank I'll push, I don't have any specific key terrain locations at the moment. 2 platoon, 11th Company move up. They barely make a section in strength. Soldiers dismount on the road to scout my left flank. Whilst 2 section go off-road to scout my right flank. On the left, the scouts lead on foot. On the right, they are on a reverse slope, so they drive up. On the left, a half-track follows to provide support for the scouts. On the right, my scouts come under fire. The right flank has made contact. The defenders are positioned on the edge of trees, almost in the centre of the AO, far forward of Verbemont. The road is in defilade and the ground slopes down from right to left. I make a quick decision. I shall focus on my left flank, pushing the rest of 11th Company past the forest and up to the crest on the southern western edge of Verbemont. 2 platoon, 12th Fallschirmjäger and the remains of 9th Pioneers arrive with 1 platoon, 2nd Panzer Company. The infantry mounts up on whatever transport is available. I withdraw the forces I'd sent up to my right flank. I have a half-track stuck in the mud, so I have to reallocate soldiers to vehicles. Advancing on my left flank is looking good. The terrain and concealment is in my favour, and I've only had random small arms fire at the scouts. I have identified the building beyond the forest as a potential overwatch position. It's a factory or a large farm building of some sort. I shall advance to secure this location and then look to roll north, pushing into the town and across the defence. I've called in some mortar fire on what looks like a forward defence area, but it's minor. I have my attack avenue and a rough plan, so let's go. Lead elements of the 11th start to unload on the eastern slopes of the wood. They start pushing into the wood. As the follow-on forces advance down the road, I push the light half-tracks and stumbles through the open fields. I'm holding the Panthers back. I prefer to move them up the road to minimise the risk of them getting stuck. The scouts come under fire from the houses at the defence area I had previously spotted. Heavy armour provides support. As with the previous battles, I'm using the half-tracks almost like infantry. But they're much bigger targets. An AT gun previously unseen. The rest of 11th Company arrive, whilst coming under fire from the factory. We quickly start working on gaining fire superiority. In the wood, I need to disable the AT gun. The second wave of the battle group, the Fallschirmjägers and Pioneers, are all mounted up and move towards the front. Meanwhile, on the left, I have the 20mm command half-track laying down suppressive fire. I don't yet have eyes on the AT gun. Everyone is fighting, including command and control teams. My soldiers are tired and quick to withdraw under fire. The Grenadiers overrun the AT emplacement. Our focus now moves to the factory. Pioneers blow a door in the rear wall. I have gained access to the factory. As you can see, my infantry strength is low, with many platoon sections fielding only 1, 2 or 3 soldiers. My tactical plan is to secure the factory and set up Overwatch. I'll then attack the east objective and the centre. What I'm not decided on is how best to deploy my heavy armour. I'm reluctant to manoeuvre them off-road, but expect the road to be covered by AT. I'm holding the decision until I've secured the factory. A half-track peeks around the western side of the factory. Expletive, a 76mm AT gun. The driver slams the vehicle into reverse whilst the second half-track opens fire on the gun. Meanwhile, as I start to reorganise my infantry to move to the factory, some very accurate American mortar fire. It's probably direct or a TRP, no warning rounds. From factory windows, soldiers tackle the AT gun. The 11th Company Panzer Grenadiers move to the front of the factory and start the fight for fire superiority. There are still Americans in the factory. Some defenders are starting to withdraw. And the AT gun has been abandoned. It's just over 40 minutes into the battle, and fighting for the factory is fierce. I doubt I'm going to be able to push beyond the factory with just infantry and light armour, so I make the decision to bring the heavy armour through the southern fields and deploy them from the factory. I risk them bogging in the mud, but I don't think I have much choice. I shall move them slowly to try and mitigate the risk. I will not try and advance my infantry beyond the factory until I've gained fire superiority. There is a strong defence which I need to dismantle first. The last of my battle group arrives, with Fallschirmjäger riding Panthers. I order them forward. I'll have no reserves. Everyone will be fighting. The fighting for the factory continues. Panthers are manoeuvring across the southern terrain to the factory. It's taken a while, but they're starting to arrive. I'm still fighting inside the factory to clear out the GIs. The fight for fire superiority seems relentless. As more of the battle group moves to the factory, I start pushing Panthers forward of the factory. I flanked a tank destroyer. I order pioneers to blow a wall to be able to exit the factory in relative cover. I think I have enough fire superiority to advance. Infantry start to move towards the centre objective. And I look to set up a forward OP. Suddenly, heavy artillery fire by the Americans. The artillery continues to fall, knocking out a command half-track. I order the group of half-tracks to relocate, away from the barrage. Meanwhile, further forward, more of my group arrives at the factory. I have 3 Panthers spearheading the push, but they have no infantry support. Bazookas are my main adversary right now. Support infantry load up. The bazookas struggle to knock out Panthers, but they cause casualties in the crew and damage subsystems. I'm also pushing the eastern objective with a Panther and half-track and infantry support. In the centre, my 2 damaged Panthers withdraw. I bring up a 3rd Panther with more HE ammo. It's taken 20 minutes, but we have the factory and are pushing towards the eastern and central objectives. The last of the battle group is arriving at the factory. It's taken a while, but thankfully none of the heavy tanks have got stuck in the mud. I'm going to advance my main force north, up the 3 roads, and then also 2 stummels west along the main highway. My initial plan is to capture the eastern objective, then the central, and then wrap up with the exit. I shall skip the north objective. I have just over an hour, so time might be a little tight based upon the current resistance. A stummel from 3 Section, 12th Company puts HE rounds on buildings around the eastern objective, whilst the rest of 11th Company Panzer Grenadiers and 12th Company Fallschirmjäger pour out of the factory. Two platoon Panthers also try to clear buildings around the east objective. I'm short on HE, the 80 shells tend to go straight through the buildings. As the infantry starts to mount up, American artillery starts to fall on the factory again. Panthers from 3 platoon advance to the edge of the central objective. A tank destroyer takes out a Panther from 2 platoon. Whilst a stummel is damaged on the main road. And the factory takes a pounding. I start my push on the eastern objective. On the edge of the central objective, 11th and 12th Company start their attack. Panthers and half-tracks provide suppressive fire support. We start taking fire from the forest on the far west of the AO. Panther 1 from 3 platoon faces off against the tank destroyer. A kill shot. Fallschirmjäger start to move into the central objective. I take AT fire from the far west. And a Panther crew bail after being hit by bazooka fire. Check out the Fallschirmjäger carrying multiple weapons scavenged through the campaign. It's like watching Ezekiel during an Armar 3 session. I thought the building was empty. I lose one of my largest sections of soldiers. More AT fire from the west, and the remounted Panther is knocked out. At the eastern objective, I've cleared the perimeter and bring in soldiers from 9th Pioneers on 3 platoon Fallschirmjäger to attack. I thought the area was secure, but another GI ambush. I have 30 minutes left and I'm still fighting for the eastern and central objectives. In the centre it seems there is an AT gun or guns in the far western forest which is preventing my armour from advancing on the exit objective. I'm trying to task the FO to call in my arty on the forest, but I'm struggling to get line of sight. I'm in a good position to attack the eastern objective but want to minimise infantry losses. I need the soldiers for the exit. I also need to watch the American artillery. They are pounding the factory and other rear areas. I don't want to get caught in a barrage. My back is against the wall on time. This is the last battle, but I don't want to just throw away my units to get a win. I want an end result that suggests a continuation of the campaign. I start the infantry attack on the eastern objective. The Americans are well dug in. Meanwhile, in the centre, an artillery strike. I try to reposition infantry and the FO. Pushing Fallschirmjäger forward out of the artillery. Back at the eastern objective, we look to enter a different way. With the eastern objective secure, I quickly retasked the group to the centre. I need the support. Fighting at the centre objective continues. Damn AT gun in the forest again. Another heavy barrage, this time on the outskirts of the east objective. The securing force quickly pull away as the shells fall. I'm running out of time. As my barrage falls on the exit objective, I push forward with Panthers to try and deny the location to the Americans. I order area fire on the suspected AT gun positions. The battle has been bloody for both sides. Time is ticking down and the Panthers trundle forward. Bazooka. The crew bails, and as I get a foot onto the exit objective, the battle closes. It is a disappointing but fair result. Verbermont was defended by 3 companies from the 82nd Airborne, and 7 tank destroyers and AT guns. With what I had left, it was never going to be a rollover. This was a long video, but I wanted to get the whole final battle into one video. Hopefully it's not too long and was enjoyable. I really liked this campaign. It seems like a lot of work went into this, and I especially liked that I had some operational decisions. I'm not sure how much it influenced each battle, but it was a nice touch. In the campaign, it's an Axis tactical victory. Not a walkover, but enough for a win. At times the campaign was tough, maybe made harder by my rapid advance decisions, but the battles seemed to be well thought out and well balanced. I hope everyone enjoyed the campaign series, and I'll get more videos out in the coming months. Stay safe in these strange times, and I wish everyone well.